Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach.
This is Nacho Ordinary Fitness Podcast.
I'm Sarah, and I'm Nacho Typical Fitness Expert.
And I'm Caleigh, and I'm Nacho Average Fitness Beginner.
We're here to spice up your fitness journey
with some humor, a little knowledge, and a couple glasses of wine.
We're here to prove that getting fit doesn't have to suck.
So whether you're a seasoned athlete or a couch potato,
we've got some tips, tricks, and unconventional advice for you.
Let's redefine fitness together
and learn to balance fitness and fun.
So Sarah,
Caleigh,
I have an idea for a topic, but I don't really know what it is for sure.
That's not helpful.
Okay.
But that's kind of how we roll. So
kind of how we roll. You have no idea what I'm about to talk about. I don't honestly even really know what I'm about to talk about, but something did happen today. While it was happening, I was like, I have to figure out a way to talk about this. And maybe it's really weird. Maybe people will think I'm weird. One of my New Year's resolutions, which, you know, we've talked about in the past, I don't really do New Year's resolution.
But now you have one?
Well, one of them is, this is going to get kind of weird, but it's like to cry more.
You want to cry more?
Kind of,
okay.
not like in a bad way, but just in like I spent a lot of my adult life like trying not to feel things because I don't like to feel negative things. And there are a lot of negative things went on, you know, early on in my 20s. And I figured out a way to just like push it all.
Tuck it away.
Push it really deep down.
Bury that trauma.
But then I learned years later that it didn't go anywhere.
You're like, oh wait, it's still there.
Still there. But I have kind of curated this life where like I don't feel things, and I certainly don't let people know that I feel things. I joke.
You do joke a lot.
I'm funny.
You are?
The funniest people are the ones with the most trauma.
Yes.
So
they're covering up something, which makes them very suspicious. I have no idea where this is going. It's making me nervous.
Just love me. One of the things over this last year that I feel has been something that has helped me kind of release some of those emotions actually has been running.
Right.
That was kind of my first foray into like the fitness world, but it's like, and I know a lot of people can relate, or a lot of runners can relate to this. It's like, you just kind of like reach this point where, I don't know, it kind of just starts coming out that way through running. You can release some of those emotions.
Does it upset you that I give you a hard time for running?
You can't hurt my feelings.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I wasn't going to squash this like epiphany that you now had.
No. And I've started this new thing, and since it's cold out right now, it's solely on the treadmill. That's my happy place. And I've always had like a goal, like I'm going to, run a 5K on the treadmill, or I'm going to do this speed and, and like pushing myself. And that's all great and well. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I started this new thing recently where I'm like, I'm just going to hop on the treadmill and I'm going to run until I don't feel like running anymore. And then I'm going to walk until I feel like running again. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to run until I don't feel, and it's just like very like, you can do it. I can actually do what I want, and nobody's going to stop me.
Right.
And it feels really good. And I haven't felt that in a long time. Like just like felt completely in control of my own, and I'll push myself a little bit more. But the key I found is like, and we've talked about the stupid music I listen to.
You do listen to stupid music.
Stupid shit.
It is very stupid.
But
I won't listen.
You don't have to.
Okay, good.
But the combination of the running that I have control over and the listening to the music that I like to listen to, and that could be different for, obviously that's going to be different. Not everybody listens to Celine Dion, that's fine.
You do?
The queen. She's
keep going.
The queen.
Okay.
Don't knock Celine Dion. That will hurt my feelings.
Okay.
That is
that's
a sensitive subject.
Okay. Got it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I actually kind of blanked out just a little bit when you started off with the treadmill as my happy place, because we're already not on the same.
I saw you glaze over a little bit.
Now this is my turn to like completely glaze out.
I don't get this feeling of euphoria, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll get there someday, and I feel like other people do, but I don't get this feeling of euphoria when I lift. It is very much a chore for me.
It's hard. Well, yes, it should be a chore. Yeah.
And not that I want it to be easy, but I don't like, I don't know. I don't get that like,
hi,
I'm doing it. It's like, I'm doing it.
I do with that. So
yeah.
Which is great. So you're getting it with running.
That's kind of where you can relate. But so today I was doing it, and I just was like going back to my weird New Year's resolution of like, I just kind of want to like feel more and cry more. Like it all just like weirdly came together.
Did you cry on the treadmill?
I cried on the treadmill.
Did? You got it all out, girl.
Me running. Celine Dion.
My heart will go on. Just near.
I hate you so much. I love Celine Dion. It's not just Celine Dion. It's just, it's just like whatever music you feel. I know for you that would be like some heavy
Slipknot
screaming, chaotic situation. And if that's what gets you right there, then do that. So I don't know.
So that's what hit you today.
That's what got me today.
You know what I like is that you've created that connection of how it's making you feel and going on that part of it. Yeah. Right. I mean, you're like, okay, this is actually feeling good. This is making me feel, and I'm getting control, because those types of feelings then are what actually I feel like help create consistency long term. Now it's making you feel
there's like a sense of emotion connected to it. And now I'm like, I want to do it again. I want to cry again.
Yes, give me that treadmill.
I wasn't like openly weeping, but it's just like, I think a lot of people, and it's not just like, it's not even just trauma. It's just like, if you have a hard time letting your emotions go or feeling the things that you should be feeling. And I don't know, maybe that's a unique thing.
feelings?
Yeah.
I guess maybe so. I don't know.
Do you feel your feelings?
Yeah.
You just feel them. You feel them and you process them in a healthy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. I mean, I don't really know.
Good for you. Do you cry?
Oh yeah.
Damn. I can't cry. As a matter of fact,
can't?
My best friend in the whole world just asked me a few weeks ago. She's like, "Do you ever just cry?" I'm like,
Really?
No, I have my body has like a visceral reaction to like when I feel like I'm about to cry. My body's like, no, you aren't. No, we're not doing this. No.
Interesting.
Very much so in front of people. Have you ever seen me cry?
No. But I make you happy all the time, so I'm not really sure what I've done.
I don't cry. I don't cry in front of people. If I do cry, it is very much alone. But it's not very often. That's not how my body processes emotions.
Did you used to?
I think I growing up, I think crying wasn't necessarily seen as like a productive or accepted way of showing your emotions. And I've struggled with that in raising my own kids because I have passed some of that on to them. We don't cry. I get very triggered when my kids cry. I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable since they were little tiny. I don't like it. Makes my skin crawl.
I feel like you need to talk to somebody about this other than myself, because I am not a qualified professional.
That's fine. I'm not looking for any help from you.
But I feel like we maybe need to...
We need to get Emily back in here.
Yeah, we do. We do need to get Emily back in here because she is super helpful in some of these different areas.
But I think
I'm not qualified for it.
If this is a thing that you deal with, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only weird
person that can't cry
out here that other people can't cry, but I have to believe that I'm not.
Well, no, I will definitely say with my children, if you're crying because it's something you got hurt or pain, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just crying for no reason, I'm not a fan of that by any means.
Yeah.
Don't be whiny or cry or like, listen, okay, there's a certain extent where you're like, okay, you can feel your emotions, but now it's done.
I can't make the differentiation between like whining and crying. Like it's all just bad. It's all bad to me. Just don't do it. Like there's better shit to do.
I do find myself saying a lot of times, like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I will listen to you when you're speaking to me like a regular person. Like, I don't understand what you're saying right now.
How often do you cry?
I don't know. It's not a regular thing, but like, I mean, if I'm feeling emotions of like sadness or frustration, or even like if I'm super angry, I will definitely cry if I get super angry, just because it's like a volume of frustration that just doesn't come out any other way.
And then you do it and then you feel better.
Yeah.
Huh. No, and I actually like
have a moment.
I've learned that recently because something, I actually received some fairly devastating news about a month ago, and the whole next day I'm like I felt like there was like poison in the pit of my stomach, and I'm like, I feel sick. Like you just get that sick to your stomach feeling. And I was like, after about half a day, I'm like, I think I might have a cry about this.
Did you?
And I did.
Okay.
And then I was like, holy shit. I feel a little bit, it didn't fix the situation. It wasn't my situation to begin with, but I felt better. And I honestly never knew that like crying was like actually like a physical release of like that poison feeling in the pit of your stomach.
So you've just been living with all this poison in your
Yeah.
stomach, basically.
Yeah.
You're just not getting it out
And
at all.
you know what it manifests as?
Running.
Anxiety.
Oh,
it manifests as anxiety.
Okay.
Which I think is why I've had some anxiety issues.
We need to talk about those too.
Which is fine. I'm fine. You know, like obviously.
Do you feel like you're having that all those same level of emotions since you've been more consistent with your workout routine and exercising and running than you were before you were starting to do some of that stuff? Like, do you think it's played a factor?
Has it helped? Yeah, it's helped for sure.
Has it really?
And I think, and I think with the weird, I don't know, what the weird treadmill thing that I'm doing, and I don't do that every day.
Right.
Usually it's like a weekend thing where I have time. I have an hour to just like run, don't run, walk,
Right.
run, you know. That feels good. But just as far as like overall anxiety since I've been working out, for sure. But it's not gone completely. I still struggle with a lot of that.
Sure.
But it has been easier to manage.
Does it feel like you kind of have some sort of like control or schedule or like consistency? Is that what it is? Or do you think
a lot
it's
of
the
it has to
actual
do-
physical, like physiological effects of exercising?
I think it has to do with like having a lot more structure and routine in my life. It does. It helps me feel more in control, and then I can, you know, deal with some of those. A lot of my anxiousness is, I can recognize that it's, I don't want to say silly, but silly. You know, it's made up situations that I let, you know, my mind kind of run with. Mm-hmm. And in the last year, I've been able to like recognize like this isn't something I can control. And so stop.
That's like actually one of my favorite go-to, like I don't have any tattoos, but if I ever was to have a tattoo, I would do like a very beautiful scripted word serenity on the inside of my arm, because the serenity prayer, which I modified it a little bit, but it's like, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change.
Yep.
Change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
For sure.
Because I feel like I say that mantra, motto, saying, whatever you want to call it, many times throughout the week, where it's like, okay, this is a moment where it's like, what do I have control over? What's worth it? But just granting yourself the opportunity to have that wisdom to be like, okay, is this worth it or not? And that makes a huge difference, finding something that works for you to kind of notice and name those reactions with what you're doing and your habits and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, because I was having a lot of anxiety about things that, you know, essentially were made up things in my head that then just don't go away.
Fester.
Just
kind of go run in circles.
Yeah.
Well, here's actually like the $1 million question though then. Like, how far did you actually run then on your treadmill this morning?
Today?
Yeah.
3 miles.
How many?
Total 3 miles, but
3.
I walked, I ran, I ran 3 miles.
Did it feel like the same 3 miles when you kind of went into it with that mindset as it does if you say go into, I'm just going to do a 3-minute run?
It's completely different. No, it's completely different. I didn't want to stop. I told myself I was going to, 3 miles and like get on with your day. I had shit to do.
You're like, okay, I've clocked my time. I'm
Like
in.
my husband's going to get worried if I'm going on like hour 2.
But that actually would be kind of interesting, like case study to do for yourself at some point, to be like, okay, well, if you stop thinking about a certain target or goal and you just go based on feeling, like
I could have gone a lot longer.
How long would you go, or how long would it take for you to actually, I mean, maybe that was the beginning of feeling new emotions or unlocking something else as far as like the responses or how you're, I don't know. That would actually be kind of interesting to know, like how far would you go?
Yeah.
Or could you go if you just did what you wanted? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's been super fun.
That was your first time that you've ever done that. So before you're like,
it was the first time that I think it like turned into like a weird, like, I don't know. I don't want to say spiritual because it wasn't spiritual, but
it kind of was
like an
though.
Emotional experience. But that being said, I have done the like, I'm just going to go down and just like, screw around on the treadmill and do what I want to do. Yeah. And I've always enjoyed doing that.
It's unlocked more.
It's like a weekend thing. That's how I'm spending my weekends, Sarah, these days.
On the treadmill?
Just messing around on the treadmill.
Just messing around on the treadmill. It's like fun for me. That's what I do. Well, I think it plays into like, I mean, so this is season 3, the last episode, which is 24.
Yeah. And clearly I don't need therapy. So
clearly. But I do think that it pulls together though a lot of the things that we've talked about, especially with some of our guests, because there's all been like these different components that weave into somebody's kind of fitness journey.
Finding what works for you, even if what works for you is some
Different.
weird shit. It's fine.
But it's what works for you. It's what's getting you towards your goals. It's what
makes you feel good.
What makes you feel good? What makes you thrive as a person? Also, what can you sustain long term? And I mean, you've definitely found some things that you're sustaining long term.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. I've been waiting a long time to hear that.
I feel like I've said it at one point. Okay. Like, wait a second. I feel like I've said that before already.
It's just, I love it every time you say it.
You're like, can you say it again? Please, again. More. Oh my goodness. I mean, hey, great. Way to wrap up the season for us, Caleigh. That was great epiphany that you had this morning. And I'm so glad you built it up for like the first 7 minutes.
Are you still my friend?
The episode.
Are we still friends? Are you mad at me?
No. Oh my gosh. No, we'll still venture into season 4 and keep this thing rolling. We've got one more color to use on our color scheme for our thumbnails.
Yeah, then we might just be done. Then we might just wrap it up.
We won't be done.
Okay.
We've got more to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
But
No, this season's been super exciting, and we've had, I don't know, I'm super proud of the guests that we had on. They were all super great.
A really good wide range, and I think a lot of topics that are applicable to a variety of different people. You get a little nugget of something from just about every episode, hopefully. So there we go. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this season, please leave us a review.
Yeah.
We follow, share.
For sure.
We need some reviews for the algorithms to pick up that we exist because we want to share our content with more people.
Yeah, so here we are.
We're just
begging for reviews.
Begging for reviews. And it's fine. That's what you do. You kind of plug it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep going, but if you like to share it with people, please do. Give us a review. We're excited about it. We'll have some great season 4 content coming for you up next, and can't wait. But for now, that's all we got.
Bye.
Until next time.
Oh, wait. Start over.
Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Epiphany Innovatives Sonified.